Alright, quick recap. A couple of retro game-loving nerds created a NES game a few years ago, and accidentally created NESmaker, a software that allows others to bring their visions to life. As an answer to the ever-present trolls, Joe and Austin created a cathartic demo called Troll Burner. That demo is used to test all NESmaker cartridges. When the team built an arcade cabinet time machine using NES technology, some of the troll code was left intact. This led to a series of misadventures involving cyborg dogs, holograms, clones, and terrible 80s fashion. Both stuck in 1989, they were surprised to find themselves staring back from the television screen, broadcasting from the 2020 Byte-Off Awards, which is a celebration of games created with NESmaker. This is where tonight begins. Ladies and gentlemen, pixelated avatars from all genres. From an auditorium inside of an arcade cabinet, welcome to the 2020 Byte-Off Awards. Here are your hosts, Austin McKinley and Joe Granato.
Here we are, doing it again.
Yep.
Happy holidays, everyone. Man, do you remember being a kid in the 80s at Christmas? Diving into the presents and, looking for the box that was that particular size and shape.
Oh yeah, pistachios.
What? No. NES games, boxes, NES game boxes.
Those two.
Well, playing all these new NES games this time of year really reminds me of that. Having new NES game experiences while the tree is up and the house smells like
sulfur,
cinnamon, pine trees. I would have also accepted chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Good God, man.
You're funnier this year.
What I wouldn't give to go back and have some of those formative game experiences again, play those games for the first time.
80s. It was a simpler time, albeit a tackier time.
Well, over the course of this night, as we celebrate NESmaker achievements that have transpired over the past year, this cheerometer will continue to rise.
By the time it reaches 100%, this year's best game will join the pantheon of memorable titles for this classic system.
For those of you who enjoy this sort of thing, getting ready to play it will feel like Christmas 1989 all over again. And we could all use that, right? 2020 has been a year.
Mask mandates, murder hornets, monoliths, and that's just the M's.
And yet, we can't help but notice all of the amazing things that this community has done despite all of that.
Soko Banana, Doodle World, Nyx, Flea, Kubo, Space Raft, Turtle Rescue. They started as Byte-Off demos in 2019, and now they're all full-fledged games, either out in the world or just finishing development.
That's right. We found out interest in creating new NES games spans 8 decades. 8! We have users as young as 8 years old and as old as 80 years old.
NESmaker games have been used for pro-social and charitable purposes, used to do good in the world.
Dozens of educational institutions around the world are now using NESmaker as a way to teach both game history and an introduction to game development.
NESmaker games have shown up in magazines like Popular Mechanics, and most recently, for the first time, a game that started as a NESmaker game will appear on the Nintendo Switch.
It just goes to show you, people are taking notice of this community, and it all starts here. You guys. You guys have made people take notice both due to the quality of your creations and the innovative ways you draw attention to this passion that we all share.
So that's a perfect place to kick off tonight's awards. Our first award is all about the innovative ways NESmakers have found to bring attention to their games and to our community.
Back in the 80s, our first experience with new video games was usually some sort of tangential media, whether it was a TV commercial or an ad in the Toys R Us circular.
Jeffrey was very persuasive.
It really was.
Or a licensed breakfast cereal or a Saturday morning cartoon adaptation. These promotional campaigns were directly responsible for
completely brainwashing us.
I was Gonna say for launching game franchises that continue to be part of our cultural vernacular 3 decades later. The Best Promotional Campaign Award celebrates the NESmaker user who has found the most innovative ways to capture the player's attention with a comprehensive package.
This year's judge is the Chief Experience Officer at Game Marketing Genie and has a long history in helping promote and market video games, both big and small. Please welcome Vivek Vasudevan.
Hi everyone, I'm really impressed by the fantastic entries for this year's Byte-Off competition, and some of them have really stood out. Our first runner-up is the Dunk Time Traveler's Fiancé for having a nice clean box art, a very witty manual, and a very well-made commercial. Another entry which stood out is Fox Hunt for his beautiful box art along with a well-made commercial. Not only that, he has created several videos educating people of how to use the NESmaker, and that'll help everyone a lot. But one game which went above and beyond to promote their game with a comic series, stickers, merchandise, and a game art, along with the manual for the game. This year's winner for the best promotional campaign is Sparkle Panda Rainbow Hunter. Congratulations to everyone who have competed in this event.
Look at that. The Cheerometer just jumped that much closer to full, bringing us that much closer to revealing this year's best game.
Excellent. Hey, you know what's kind of neat?
What?
Vivek and Game Marketing Genie, they're a company out of Australia.
Oh, yeah.
That brings up something really interesting. Even though this whole thing started here in the US, it's amazing how the desire to make new games for this classic console connects us beyond cultural boundaries.
Absolutely. Let's take a minute to check in with NESmaker users around the world.
Hello fellow NESmakers, I'm Ali Low Low-Tech Games, creator of Flea, and I'm coming to you from Scotland. I played all the Byte-Off games, good luck to everyone.
Hello NESmaker users, this is Boyd, checking in from Norway.
Hello there, I'm Napoleon from Net Games in Spain.
Bonjour communauté NESmaker, ici c'est Subotaille de Québec, Canada. Comme vous pouvez voir, il y a beaucoup de neige par ici. On va vous souhaiter un beau temps des fêtes, profitez-en bien.
Salut la communauté, c'est Stachan. Je vous fais un gros bisou depuis la France.
Hi there, fellow NESmakers. This is Kevin81 from the Netherlands. Shout out to all the game devs, musicians, and pixel artists out there. Stay awesome.
Hello, NESmaker users. This is Tyler, aka Vupka, from up in Canada, eh?
Hello from Portugal. I just want to see the new games made for the old NES in NESmaker. Let's have some fun.
Yes, General Grunt!
Hello, NESmakers, bakers, and candlestick makers! Generalissimo Gruntin, commander of Transvatovania, reporting! You may remember me from our entry last year. Unfortunately, we could not enter a game this year, but with good reason. Our newest champion, morbidly obese alligator, is training for the Olympics, which will also take place in the 8-bit arena. To compete in the Byte-Off would jeopardize his amateur status and make him ineligible, and we can't have that. He was planning to attend the awards show, though. Unfortunately, we hit a small snag. Dr. Slough! How's that coming along? Yes, sir. Currently, he's stuck in the car door. I think we got him a half an inch closer to the seatbelt. At this rate, we'll probably get him in there sometime next month. Although getting him out will be another story.
Ha ha! Now, to the average player, 8-bit art might seem overly simplistic. But for those of us who work in the medium, we understand it's infuriatingly simplistic.
The complexities of suggesting detail at such a low resolution, color space, where even a single pixel can make a dramatic difference is no small achievement.
Honestly, considering just how far game graphics have come in the last 30 years, it's always impressive when an 8-bit game can still demonstrate evocative characters and immersive environments.
This year's judge for Best Pixel Art is the editor-in-chief at Old School Gamer magazine. He has a long-standing love of retro games and is an authority on compelling pixel art. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Berger.
Hi, I'm Ryan Berger, the publisher of Old School Gamer magazine. My job was to find the best pixel art, and I was looking for the potential of what I saw in the game in the art and how it was used. Found some great shooters, some Zelda-ish games, some platformers, sports titles, and running guns, and here are my favorites. Runner-up number 2 went to Rumblefest '89. Remembering the wrestling games of the 1980s was fantastic. Runner-up number 1, The Prying Eye. It reminded me of an 8-bit Myst game, how they could tie up some cool puzzles. And the winner of the award for the first place in the pixel art category is Walter Nate, Timeline Agent. The motion of the main figure reminded me of Karateka, Prince of Persia, and those types of games. Congratulations.
NESmaker couldn't exist without the amazing work of other retro gaming enthusiasts who have kept the flame alive and turned their passions into the support structure that makes what we do possible.
Here are just a few people supporting the cause who would like to extend you all warm holiday wishes.
Hey everyone, it's Darby from Blue Television Games, and I just want to say happy holidays to all you retro gamers. The games for the Byte-Off this year look fantastic. Good luck to you all. Can't wait to see who the winners are.
Hi everybody, Chris from StoneAgeGamer.com here. We'd all like to wish everybody the best of luck in the Byte-Off competition. Have a happy and safe holiday, and keep playing games.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is John, aka Games31. I am co-owner of the Game On Expo as well as Collector Vision Games, and I want to wish you guys a very happy holidays and best of luck to the competitors. Thank you also for checking out our fairly new game, Sydney Hunter and the Curse of the Mayan, currently out for Switch as well as Steam, and coming out for other platforms in 2021. Thanks.
Good evening, game creators. Jan here from Cool Shit Magazine, which is the one-stop shop for everything that's hot. Just wanted to drop by and wish all of you guys the very best for tonight's competition. Yes, somebody is going to win, but no, there aren't any losers. Thanks to everyone that supported us this year with the magazine, and we really look forward to covering your games in 2021. Catch you later.
Hi everyone, this is Dan Lucen from the Midwest Gaming Classic Trade Show in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I wanted to congratulate all of this year's competitors. It's exciting to see so many future classics that kids like me would have loved to find under their trees in the 1980s. Happy holidays, everyone!
Hey everybody, this is Paul with Infinite NES Lives. I just wanted to wish a Merry Holiday to everybody in the NESmaker community. I appreciate everything that you guys have done to support our work over the years, and good luck to everyone competing in this year's Byte-Off competition.
Hello everybody, this is Tim Hartman from Retrotainment Games, the 6502 Collective, and my new venture, 8-Bit Legit Publishing. Just wanted to wish everybody a happy holidays, and congratulations to the winners this year in the Byte-Off competition. I actually got a chance to work with Nate Peters this year to help bring his game Doodle World to life in terms of a CIB game that was on Kickstarter earlier in the year. It's a really cool concept that he has, and I was very happy to be part of that, so I'm hoping to see that out soon. And here's to more games in 2021. Take care, everybody.
Nothing sets a game experience apart like a great musical soundscape, right? It's the one part of the game that stays with you long after you stop playing, and it's the one thing that can instantly bring the immediacy of a compelling game experience right back to the forefront of your memory.
And to tell us who brought the backbeat to the frontal lobes of our collective consciousness, please welcome Harmonix Audio Quality Assurance Specialist and Synthwave Generator, Orion Damacy, to tell us who's got the musical goods.
There were so many strong submissions, and it was so hard to narrow down contenders for Best Soundtrack. The second runner-up is Chaos Between Realms. It had great cybernetic 80s vibes. I like the bass heaviness of it and the shifts between the cybernetic music and the light adventure music. My choice for first runner-up is Chrono Knight. It had very strong melodies and harmonic complexity with fun, creepy Castlevania vibes. But for this year's Byte-Off competition, the winner for Best Soundtrack goes to The Prying Eye. It had me at the slowly evolving intro theme that was so effective at setting a tone. Overall, the soundtrack of The Prying Eye I found to be the most effective at evoking a mood that felt cohesive with the gameplay and also felt polished and professional. I felt genuinely creeped out playing this demo, and the music reminded me of the feeling of NES games like Shadowgate and Deja Vu. Congratulations to everyone on all of your great submissions.
Okay, so speaking of great music, we have a very special musical guest this evening.
Performing music from Chrono Knight in a bombastic metal arrangement, please welcome Yongar and the Doom Knights! That was amazing and ridiculous.
Indeed it was. And speaking of ridiculous, it's time to celebrate the wombat.
Genres are a big thing in gaming, specifically because they set expectations. Within a genre, we know what works. As long as our game pays off on those things, the game is usually successful.
Yeah, that's right. But some of you brave pioneers consistently defy the expectations with these quixotic offerings that at first have us asking, what the? Followed quickly by, oh my God, that's brilliant. The Wombat category celebrates precisely that weird exploratory spirit responsible for some of the most unique gaming experiences in the NES lexicon.
To judge a category this difficult to define, we needed to find the people that most embrace the weird. And let's face it, that's us. I mean, seriously, look around. I have a point.
This whole thing is pretty ridiculous. Now, there was a lot of entries that impressed and surprised us and blew our minds. We had not one but two creator games. One was an 8-bit coloring book, which my son loved. There was another that was this stamp-based creation game.
We had the first point-and-click game that even featured voice samples. There was a multiplayer puzzle game.
There was a procedural horror brawler. There was a noir-esque detective story. There was a game you played as a flame in an oven avoiding spatulas.
There was a wrestling game. There was a text adventure game. There was a stealth game where you effectively played as a cardboard box.
But there was one. There was one that really surprised us, and it surprised us for a lot of reasons. First, it crossed genres with interesting storytelling, great artwork, humor, really intricate mechanics we hadn't seen before.
Absolutely. You had bosses changing states, selectable weapons, screen shake, cutscenes.
Yeah. This year, the Wombat Award, given to the game that most surprised us, goes to Rick Starfield. Now, the Wombat is the only award of the night that we judge.
Probably for the best considering our tragic lack of taste.
So now let's jump from the category that we judge to the category that you judge. If you remember reading Nintendo Power magazine as a kid, you might remember the Player's Choice polls where you would fill out a postcard with your vote for your favorite NES game.
Conveniently, the top spots were almost always exclusively taken up by first-party games.
Similar to the Player's Choice poll, we allowed players like you to test the Byte-Off demos and vote for their favorite. Well, you the players have spoken.
And this year's award for audience choice goes to...
Rescue Time! Also to note, everyone who voted was entered to win a retro USB AVS to play their favorite games on. Now, it's time to pick the winner. If you're watching this, you've probably been following the arc that has led up to this award show. There was the theme reveal video, the time machine plot, the attempt to bring Joe back in time for this award show.
It's all wrapped up in this year's official theme, which was simply the word
timeless.
Developers could interpret that any way they wished, and there were some truly creative interpretations.
As we have tried to tell an entertaining frame story in the service of showing off all of your games,
Is that what we've been doing?
You have delighted us with fun stories of your own. And the best of those stories deserve recognition.
Video games have grown to become narrative experiences on par with and sometimes even surpassing big-budget cinema. But there was a time back when every bit of data was precious, when developers had to be very creative at expressing their stories. Limited verbiage, pixelated imagery, and sometimes even the game mechanics themselves had to serve as the storytelling foundation. Telling compelling stories in 8-bit is truly its own unique form of art.
This year's judge for Best Narrative is the founder of Horror Geek Life. She is steeped in nerd culture, is a lover of games both old and new, and she is a legitimate professional expert in reviewing narrative. Please welcome Melissa Hannon.
Before I announce the winner of the Best Narrative for Byte-Off 2020, I have to say that it was really hard because every single submission had something really great that stood out. But here's the runner-up and the winner. So the runner-up is Magnilo. It was a lot of fun to play and exploring the movie studio. The detective story, the noir feeling, and the humor all really complemented the setting and the game mechanics. And now the winner, which is Chaos Between Realms. Immediately as the game starts, the pop culture references, the sci-fi, the humor, it just grabs you and it really keeps you engaged throughout the gameplay. Overall, it provided a great gaming experience and it definitely is a treat for NES fans and sci-fi fans. So congratulations to Magnilo and Chaos Between Realms and to everybody else for having great submissions.
Amazing. The cheerometer is almost full, but I think we still have to kill a little bit more time here, before we reveal the best game.
Maybe we can cut to a commercial break.
Ah, yes, commercial break. Brilliant, perfect. We will be right back after a usually commercial break.
Did you see the latest Nintendo newsletter? Whoa, nice graphics. I'd like to get my hands on that game. You mean you haven't played it yet? We can play it on my Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh my god.
What have we done?
Joe, Austin, you have to find a way to stop the award show.
Dale Coop! It's last year's winner of the New 8-Bit Hero Award, given to the person who was most helpful to the community during Byte-Off.
How did you find us?
I reached out to the NESmaker users for help in finding problems in the time machine code. One person was incredibly helpful. It's not surprising. He has always been there to answer the question from people who were stuck in the problem. He has shared many useful scripts and tutorials. All this while he was continuing to work on his own game. Cut Across is definitely worthy of this year's The New 8-Bit Hero Award.
Congratulations to this year's New 8-Bit Hero!
Seriously, you're awesome. These games would not be as awesome if it weren't for you. But can we get back to Dale Coop for a moment?
I know what's wrong with your code and I know how to fix it. More important, I know why it broke in the first place. You have to get to the awards before the best game is announced.
Why? I mean, it's obvious we get back in order to pull this whole thing off.
Yeah, and it seems like we're doing fine.
Papa, dis-leur que c'est pas eux.
Quoi? The host on the show? They are not you.
And we're back. All right, well, the cheerometer is not quite 100%, and we can't reveal this ending until we have 100% cheer.
Right, that's right, so let's hear it! You pixelated creatures in the crowd, you Homo sapiens watching on the television and your smart devices and such. Let's all cheer! Yay!
Louder!
Louder!
Give us your cheer! Cheer for us!
We need to hear the cheer!
Let's count it down from 10! 10, 9, 8, 7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2! Finally stuck the landing. Not so fast, us!
Yeah, I know what I'm up to, and I won't get away with it. Everybody, that's not a cheerometer. Fine, it's not a cheerometer, it's a battery.
For a time machine.
Controlled by the troll.
The ultimate troll!
You just couldn't leave well enough alone, could you?
So you've lured everyone into this time trap, but why? What are you up to?
He's been a bug in the code since the very beginning, manipulating the timeline for his own nefarious ends.
Nefarious? You two lack proper vision. Don't you see? No one cares about NES games in the year 2020.
Spoken like a troll.
It's true. The world has moved on. At best, you're all hobbyists. At worst, you're sinking years of your lives into a thing that you think will make a difference, but in reality, has no consequence to anyone but yourselves.
Don't listen to him! Never humor the trolls!
So what? You're out to sabotage all the Byte-Off games because you don't think they're relevant?
Sabotage? No. You completely misunderstand. I'm here to give every Byte-Off contestant the prize that they really want.
I don't understand.
I'm taking all of your games back to 1989, back when they would matter, and releasing them to the world. Imagine, together, we can control the trajectory of video games. Our games could be the icons of everyone's childhood. These NESmaker games could be the games every child is opening on Christmas morning.
I did not see that coming.
That's... Huh.
I know you saw the commercial. You saw what I was able to do with one of the most iconic games in the history of the world. So imagine what we could do together.
No. We can't do this. We can't. Don't you see? If we take these games to the past, we're robbing them of their importance here and now. We all love Zelda and Mario and Castlevania and Mega Man. Most of us experienced them during a time that we reflect on as the best part of our life. But that's just it. That time in our lives doesn't need change or improvement. It's 2020 that needs fixing. The games that we're celebrating tonight, they brought every single one of us together at a time that we never felt more alone and apart. And when we reflect 30 years from now, we'll remember this community and how these games were inextricably part of this time. For a lot of us, these games were exactly what we needed, exactly when we needed them. These games belong in 2020.
Fine. Swim in your oblivion. No one needs you anyway. I'm taking your games with me. I wasn't asking permission. The time machine is fully charged, and there is no one left to stop me!
On your left. No, your other left.
Austin! It's the 2019 Byte-Off Heroes!
Led by Time Survivor riding Toby the Turtle!
You fool! You have to know that you will never truly be rid of us trolls.
You might be right, that might be true.
But that just means there is always something for target practice.
Okay, so this was something, right? Yeah. You know, though, there is one thing that the troll said that is true. Unfortunately, these games may not change the world the way that the games from our youth did. But it doesn't mean they don't matter. They matter. They matter to us. They matter to all of us.
Like any great art, they're part of a collective experience that transcends the time and place of its creation.
And that brings us to the final award for the night. Here, from our pixelated stage in 2020, in the company of the characters from last year's Byte-Off competition, it's our pleasure to introduce former Nintendo Power senior editor Chris Hoffman to announce the winner of the best game of 2020.
So here we are, the award for best game. This was a very tough decision, and it could have gone to any number of titles, and the one thing they all have in common is potential. Even with limited development time, most of the submissions hooked me one way or another, and whenever I reached the end, I almost always wanted to keep going and see what came next. Alas, there can only be one winner, but before I get to that, I want to give a shout out to two runners-up, those being Thalassophobe and The Prying Eye. Thalassophobe is an auto-scrolling side-view shooter with an underwater setting, and it looks absolutely stunning and has some great enemy patterns, while The Prying Eye is a point-and-click graphic adventure cut from the ICOM Simulations cloth. While it's still in the early stages, The Prying Eye hooked me with its cinematic intro, chilling atmosphere, and top-notch visuals, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. As for the winner itself, the prize goes to Chaos Between Realms. This top-down contemporary sci-fi action-adventure pretty much has it all. Solid graphics, catchy music, excellent stage design, responsive controls, multiple weapons, and a quirky, over-the-top story that seems straight out of the NES era. In fact, if someone had presented me this game and told me it was a long-lost NES title originally developed during that system's heyday, I would probably have believed it. There's still room for the game to grow, but it has a professional level of polish that really helped it stand out from the crowd and earn itself the title of the 2020 Byte-Off's Best Game. A big congratulations to Chaos Between Realms, as well as everybody else who participated.
Hey! All right, there you have it.
So yes, this whole thing has been ridiculous, but hopefully it demonstrates how all of you continue to inspire us and each other.
All gags aside, thank you so much for being part of this community. We're humbled by what you have brought to life with the tools that we've created.
Whatever you're celebrating this holiday season, know that we're celebrating all of you as part of our family.
We cannot wait to see what 2021 brings. Good night. So, hey, back in 2020, just in time for Christmas. Awesome. And I did promise Austin that I was going to dismantle the time machine. I'm not going to dismantle the time machine.
I'm not even going to tell him about the clones.